Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Out's here, and it is New Year's Eve, and we're playing the Celtics this afternoon. 3 o'clock tip off today, guys. Just so y'all know, I didn't know the tip off until like just now, seeing the graphic for the team that they are playing at 3, which is great because they're playing tomorrow here in Toronto against Brooklyn, and get that afternoon game done so they can have a reasonable travel time, even with the clock changing and the New Year's Eve celebrations and stuff. So 3 o'clock tip off. It's going to come up quick this afternoon and have normal, unorthodox time to play a Raptors game or an NBA game in the afternoon. 3 p.m. tip in Boston today. Yeah, the Celtics have lost 3 out of their last 4 games, and they are not totally sharp right now. And in some ways, as the great Siakam says, and beating them recently, said if you're going to go up against the Celtics, you need to come in correct and ready to attack them and play with them in confidence to try and beat them. And you may be getting some good results. You know, the league is so crazy. The Raptors may be one of the worst teams in the league right now, but the way this league is, any team can come up and beat any team at any given day. And on a day like today, when everybody's kind of thinking the Raptors are just garbage and really, really bad from the last couple of performances they put on, crazy things happen. It's just what I'll say right now. In some ways, this is a matter of pride for the Toronto Raptors right now. What kind of team we're going to be? You know, Jamal Shed got interviewed yesterday, and they pointed it out to him. You've lost more as a Raptor than you lost your whole entire college career. He's like, yeah, it is weird, man. It's not like me. Well, Jamal, since you know so much about winning, what's going on with the Raptors? Are they still a winning team? Is your team of winning vibes? And he's like, yeah, we're doing it right. We're connected right. Everything's right. It's just that we're not getting the results. And I understand this, that maybe I knew how to win in college because that level I mastered in some ways. But at this level, it's totally harder. And it's a very, very different game. What Jamal Shed said in the practice interview yesterday. Now, I'm telling you, we've got winners on this team, guys that have won in their history of basketball, and they like winning and they want to win more, and they will. Trust me. The things are happening right now are just part of scraping the bottom and going through it to get to the good stuff afterwards. Nothing is permanent in the NBA. It's cyclical. There's always ups and downs for teams and their rosters and their franchises. And right now, the Raptors are scraping the bottom of the barrel for a little while, but doesn't mean they're going to be down there for long. And only a fool would take a snapshot of an NBA team at a moment and say, this is who they are. Because teams are constantly evolving, adjusting, and changing through all kinds of different reasons, whether it's injuries, whether it's trades, whether it's players getting healthy and being able to contribute correctly. There's all kinds of different ways things can happen real fast. And you may take a snapshot of the Raptors from Atlanta on Sunday or Memphis last Thursday and think you understand who the hell they are, but you're probably wrong, is what I'll say to that. Yeah, there you go. Let's do this preview this morning. We got some injuries to talk about. We got some referees to report on. Let's talk about it right now. Here's your preview for Boston, 3 o'clock today. Yeah, the injury report for the Raptors has changed around once again a little bit. We found out in Darko's interview yesterday that RJ has relapsed with his illness and that he has not traveled to Boston. So our two New York Knicks that are on our team now, Barrett and Quickly, will not be playing today for sure. They're the two for sure guys that will not be available for today. Emmanuel Quickly is still out. He's begun incorporating his left arm into recent workouts, but he's still not ready for full contact drills. And Barrett did not travel with the Raptors today to Boston. He is not in the state of Massachusetts. He's still here in Toronto trying to get over his illness that's been nagging him for most of December, guys. RJ has been sick most of this past month, just so y'all know. And, well, he's not available. Also added to the injury list for today, questionable, Grady Dick. He has a hamstring tightness, and he is questionable for today's game. Davion Mitchell continues to be questionable today also against the Celtics due to being sick, having an illness. And Bruno Fernando is questionable due to a toe. So that's our injury list. RJ and Emmanuel out for sure today. It's going to be the Barnes show as far as the BBQ. Only one, B, will be there. And then Grady, questionable. Bruno for questionable. And Davion, questionable. Everybody else healthy, including Bruce Brown. So I will speculate that the Raptors starting lineup today will be Scotty Barnes, maybe Jamal Shed in there at the starting point guard. That would be fun if we saw Jamal out there, because in some ways, Boston's got speedy little guys. And in some ways, we may want to consider having a speedy little guy since Trae Young tore us up on Sunday, Darko. And we needed maybe a speedy little guy on him right away. So maybe you consider starting Jamal today as a speedy little point guard, and we put him in there for maybe Grady or something like that. So Scotty, maybe Jamal, Oshai Abaji, Jacoby Walter, and maybe Yaka Pirtle as the starting lineup. I could see that being the starting lineup with two rookies starting today, maybe, possibly Jamal and Jacoby. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe they're going to do a favor for old Cowboy Bruce Brown and let him start the game in his hometown since he's back. And maybe he's going to be in the starting lineup. We'll have to see. It's very likely that Grady will not be playing today. So we'll have to see how that goes down. The Celtics, of course, the first time we played them to an overtime victory for them, just barely beating the shot at the last minute. Jason Tatum traveling to get free, and they admitted it afterwards that Tatum should have gotten a travel call, but they didn't do anything to change it. It's still an overtime win, just barely, for the Celtics the first time we played them. So don't tell me these Raptors can't play the Celtics in a competitive way, considering they already have this season. And in fact, they beat them in preseason also. So we can beat the Celtics. We just need to put it together and have some pride. You can go from having two historic losses in a row to beating the defending champions on their home court on New Year's Eve, Raptors. That's a pretty interesting upswing from a very bad downswing of bad games. End your 10-game losing streak. Beat the champs. That's what you could do today. You have an opportunity. On the other side, there are injuries for the Celtics. Drew Holiday is questionable for today. It's his shoulder. He did not play the first time we played him. It's a big blow to have Drew Holiday out. In fact, that's part of the reason why the Celtics have slid a little bit recently. Also, Kristaps Porzingis is still dealing with injuries on and off his ankle. He is questionable for today's game also. So they may be without their starting center and starting point guard for today, guys. Who are on the Celtics right now? Well, it's Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, along with Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, also J.D. Davison, Jordan Walsh, Drew Peterson, Nemes Keita, Xavier Tillman, Jaden Springer is basically their kind of lineup right now. So, yeah, as I said, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 games. They have not been playing as sharp recently. They've been dropping games to a few teams lately. So, yeah, maybe they're ripe for the picking. Maybe we have a chance to actually beat the Celtics in Boston, seeing as Philly and Indy have beaten them in the last week in Boston. Philadelphia beating them on Christmas Day, and Indiana beating them on Sunday with Pascal. So, yeah, we'll have to see if we can be that team. I mean, it's going to be a tough task, but you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah, there's a chance, Lex. There's a chance that we could. A lot of people may be laughing at me right now saying that, but you know what? Go ahead and laugh, and let's see what happens, all right? And come see me tomorrow on Reaction Stream. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, here's our referees for today. We've got the Kevin and Evan Scott experience, guys. Yeah, that's right. We got Kevin Scott and Evan Scott tonight. It's so funny. Kevin Scott is in his 14th season, number 24 of the referees out of South Carolina. He likes the TV show 48 Hours. He'll watch that movie Shawshank Redemption. He gets down to some Eric Church. He likes the book Friday Night Lights. He's a cheese pizza enthusiast. His favorite app is the Weather Channel. He'd most like to visit the Great Barrier Reef and go on an African lion safari. And his hidden talent is facial recognition. Kevin Scott has officiated 715 regular season games in 13 seasons as an NBA staff official. Scott has also worked 46 playoff games, including 2 NBA Finals games. That's right, yeah. Kevin Scott is that country bumpkin ref who gets on the mic and kind of sounds country. But, yeah, he's the best ref today out of all 3 refs for the Raptors. We won the last game that he refereed for us, but we lost the first game. So we're 1-1 this season with him. So 1-1. Now we win 56% of our games historically with Kevin Scott. Meanwhile, the Celtics win 57%. So there's a slight advantage with the crew chief, Kevin Scott, for the Celtics, 56-57 for from Kevin Scott. But we're 1-1 this season with him, just so you know. The second ref is John Butler, number 30 in his 6th season out of Biloxi, Mississippi. John Butler likes the Chappelle Show. He likes the movie Do the Right Thing. His favorite musician is Jay-Z. His book is Chop Wood, Carry Water. He likes to eat red beans and rice. His favorite app is the Bible, and he most like to visit Africa also. So it sounds like Kevin Scott and John Butler want to go on African safaris, is what we're hearing. John Butler has officiated 217 regular season games and 5 seasons as an NBA official. Butler worked the Rising Stars competition and the All-Star Saturday night events at the NBA All-Star 2024 in Indianapolis. Now, John Butler, let's see where he is on our sheet. He is the worst ref today for the Raptors. We win 41% of our, 42% of our games. And meanwhile, the Celtics win 83% of their games with John Butler present. We've lost the only game this season that John Butler has refereed us. So 42-83 is the split for the Celtics with John Butler, the second ref. The third ref is Evan Scott, one of Nick Nurse's favorite refs, number 78 in his 6th season out of South Korea. He likes Sports Center to watch for TV. He's into the movie Inception. He listens to Prince, and that's part of the reason why he's such good buddies with Nick. Favorite book, Stalling for Time. His favorite meal is steak and asparagus, and his favorite app is FaceTime. He'd most like to visit the Amalfi Coast. Evan Scott has officiated 187 regular season games in 5 seasons as an NBA staff official. Yeah, Evan is in the middle, exactly, for the refs, for the Raptors. We have not seen Evan Scott this season yet. This will be the first time Evan Scott is refereed for us. We're 50%, exactly 50 with him for our record. Meanwhile, the Celtics are 31%. So 50-31 for the Raptors with the third ref, Evan Scott. So he actually favors us in this one. So, yeah, Kevin Scott favors the Celtics. John Butler really favors the Celtics. And Evan Scott favors the Raptors. So that's your ref report right there. It's an interesting ref crew. I was fully expecting Ed Malloy or something like that. It seems like whenever we play the Celtics, they give us Ed Malloy, but luckily we have not had Ed Malloy this season yet, which is fantastic. We keep avoiding Ed Malloy. I think we had him maybe once this year. Have we had Ed Malloy? I got to look at it again because I don't remember getting Ed Malloy. Maybe we have had him. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, it's not a horrible ref crew. I mean, Evan Scott could be a little confusing. John Butler, those are younger refs. They're not experienced. And then you've got Kevin Scott running the show, who can be pretty fair. We're 1-1 with him this season. So there's your referees. Yeah, Evan and Kevin today. Kevin and Evan Scott. The Scott brothers. They're going to be there today. Kaz is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Trucker Kaz. And it's New Year's Eve. Hopefully you're not on the road again today, that you get the day off and you get to hang out at home and watch the Raptors at 3 p.m. on Sportsnet today. Yeah, that's going to be the game today. Trevor J is here. Commissioner J, what's up? You must train your mind to be stronger than your emotions, or else you'll lose yourself every time. This is part of what the Raptors are going through right now. You know, it really is a weird thing, losing, and how it can affect you. And also when you don't want to get those kind of mentalities or habits of being a loser, you've got to really be steadfast and smart and keep things separated and by behavior. You know, you can get dismayed, you can get disgruntled, you can get distraught, but it doesn't mean you got to start doing things that are self-destructive. And one of the things is just do everything right, win those moments, do things in winning ways and small ways, even if you're not winning the overall enchilada of the game. And then you keep practicing that winning stuff. The winning stuff will turn into actual winning. So that's the thing. You could be in a bad place. That doesn't mean you need to go get the whole bag of extra large bag of Lay's potato chips and down it for the night because you're depressed. Don't do that. No. Keep your winning ways and take care of yourself and have faith in your higher power that you're going to get through whatever you're going through to get to the good stuff, even if it's dark and dismal right now. That's the thing that Raptors are thinking about right now, because that's all they can do right now with what's going on right now. That's right. Trevor's saying that Darko's interview, very smart man. He knows how to handle reporters. Yeah, this time right around when the Raptors are losing like this and they're having routes twice, 3 times in a row where they're routed by the team that they played, 3 routes in a row. This is when Michael Grange and Josh Lewenberg and those guys start circling like sharks in the water. Like they want to come and talk to the Raptors and their coaches and kind of like gaslight them, honestly. That's what they do. They gaslight them. They start asking them, well, how does the losing feel? Okay, Grange, get the marbles out of your mouth and ask the question. They will start asking really depressing kind of questions, and questions that are trying to break down the players. Scotty in his post-game interview after the game was very matter of fact about this is not acceptable. This is not okay. We have a higher standard for ourselves and we're going to get it. They're all saying the same thing. They're all saying we're together. Garrett Temple in a very interesting interview yesterday talking about how this team's nowhere near fractured and in trouble. And they were trying to get him to say some stuff. They're baiting our guys in interviews to try and be all whiny and cry and saying, oh, no, this is horrible, or turn on each other or something like that. I don't know what they're trying to do when they do this. Listen, these guys are professionals. This isn't Garrett Temple's first rodeo. This isn't the first time Darko has ever gotten ejected from a game. He's gotten ejected from games many times in his past. Y'all need to just understand this is a professional NBA team. These are professionals playing for this team. They know the drill. They understand what's going on. Kelly Olynyk's been on many, many teams that have lost in his long career. So is Garrett Temple. And they can teach the young guys on how to weather the storm mentally and try and stay on track right through the adversity of losing. And the press are just another added stressor coming in with their bullshit and their stupid ass questions and trying to gaslight and trying to pull them apart mentally with crazy ass worded questions, because there's a lot of that. Darko's awesome, man. He had one of his best interviews in a long time with the press after the practice yesterday. Just very passionate, very forthright about what's going on, and very, very much like saying, no, this is how we do it. And when you hear him talk in that interview, if you're a Raptors fan, you understand that this is the right guy to be leading our team right now, because he has it. He got it. He understands it. And that is the thing I want from my coach. He's amazing, man. Trevor, you're so right to bring up Darko's interview yesterday, because he is just a badass. And if you had not seen it, you need to go watch it, seriously, because it will illustrate what being an NBA coach is all about, even when you're losing horribly right now. Horribly, yeah. Trevor's saying 50 people are coming to my house tonight for a New Year's party. Well, there you go. Commissioner J living that lifestyle. Of course, he's getting that. That was funny. In the last game, Alvin and Matt started talking wrestling for a second, and they brought up Ric Flair and the high profiling gator wearing. Like, Matt Devlin even tried to do it. It's so funny. It's so funny. And yeah, Alvin's talking about the wrestlers that he liked. Of course, Alvin's right around my age. He's going to be talking about the Road Warriors and Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and that era of Hulk Hogan and all that from the 80s. Yeah. It sounded like Alvin was more of an NWA guy than a WWF guy from the names he was dropping. And that was kind of fun. It's always kind of a dangerous area for the broadcast crew to go into when they're riffing on the pop culture, like Ron Burgundy or Ron Jeremy, so to speak. So it is kind of dangerous, but it was hilarious to hear them talking wrestling for a second. And when they bring up Ric Flair, well, it makes me think of Commissioner J and his high profiling, jet flying, styling and profiling lifestyle that he's got. Woo! That's right, baby. That's right. So you have a fantastic New Year's Eve party tonight, Trevor. And thank goodness the game's a little earlier so you can concentrate on your guests. Yeah. All right, Dark. Let's see. He's saying classic card and Instagram stories. I will be out of the stream today. All right. So Trevor's going to be dipping to get party favors in line for his party tonight. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the Instagram stories right now, since he's giving me my cue for that. All right, let's see. There's still that crazy corn dog game on the Raptors official Instagram. Is like, I don't know what you do. It's like the corn dogs are Frogger or something like that, and you got to get the corn dogs across the road before the kids eat them. I don't know. Chun Chun corn dogs, Raptors video game. Play it. It's fun. Play it. It's fun. And then there's also play for a chance to win a Raptors jersey and also a night at Falls View Casino. So there's a couple different promotions and games going on with the Raptors and other companies to win during the 30th anniversary right now. There is Chris Boucher, and the game day says December 31st, Sportsnet, 3 p.m. start. So don't sleep on this. The Raptors are playing earlier today, and you need to be ready. Manuel Quickly was on last night, and he's saying 2K NBA My League Season 2, DM Pet B to get in, comp only. There you go. So he's recruiting once again to get some people to play some virtual basketball with him. And maybe you can make the team. Maybe you make the squad with Emmanuel. He's not on We the North anymore, though, but he's still involved in the 2K and wanting to play competitively. Toronto Tempo has a nice young lady talking about how excited she's going to be for the Tempo and coming into existence and having games and stuff like that. We're getting hyped, more and more hyped for Toronto's WNBA team, the Toronto Tempo, with their beautiful purple and blue color. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so all about Toronto Tempo. And as it's coming closer and closer, we'll get more and more excitement built for this team. And I will be doing my part on this channel, Teresa. Don't worry. That's right. I will be hyping you up on this channel and trying to get people to watch for sure. There's a Jamal McGlure. He's got a lot of Scarborough Shooting Stars stuff with the cup and the CEBL. That's a beautiful, beautiful cup. It's a really grandiose cup, the CEBL Championship Cup. It's really, really cool with the maple leafs on it, and it's just nice and big and round and substantial. I really, really like it. So Jamal's showing that off. Of course, the CEBL season will be playing again this year coming up, and we'll have to see who will be the new CEBL champion for this season of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. That's right. I love it. There's the mascot for the Shooting Stars on there also. He's such a weird looking alien guy. Yeah, the alien. I don't know. What is his name? What is the alien's name there? I don't know. There's the Scarborough Walk of Fame, and Jamal McGlure's star is there. And I believe that's in the Scarborough Town Center where the Scarborough Walk of Fame is. There's this guy jumping off a chair to dunk it, but the chair broke through, and now he's just falling through. That's crazy. That's America's Funniest Home Video kind of stuff there, Jamal McGlure. That's crazy, yeah. Here's the one time you try to leave work without anyone noticing. This guy's walking, and he steps on a thing that's not really a floor, and he falls right through and makes a big noise. Yeah, there's some funny stuff on Jamal McGlure's Instagram story, so check it out. Slim Duck showing his crazy for everybody three-point shot at the half with Grady standing behind him. And there he is with Coco and Coco's son, Jet. Yeah, Coach James Wade brought his son, Jet, to the game the other day, and he was out on the court with him before the game. I saw this happening, actually, on the feed before the game. They took James Wade's son, Jet, down into the lane, and he was throwing alley-oops for Chris, and it took him about 4 or 5 tries, but he finally got it really right. So it's cool. And looks like Chris is showing that Jet got to be at work with Daddy, with Coco Wade and Jet Wade and Chris Boucher hanging out. So he's happy to do that. And there's the little alley-oop I saw where Jet threw it up and Chris caught it and threw it down. Good pass, Jet. There you go. Yeah, I was wondering who that kid was. I kind of figured out that it was James Wade's son. Kind of. There's Chris saying Happy New Year to everybody. So, yeah, they're going to be having Happy New Year festivities tonight. Hopefully the Raptors are smart while they're in transit back to Canada with their New Year's celebrations. Also, Chris has got something from Avatar, the Mind Bender, Wind Bender, or whatever he's saying. When you're about to crash out, but you have to show everyone you've changed. You know, I'm sure Chris has had a tumultuous year so far, ups and downs, in and out of the rotation. And in some ways, it's a mental game, but he's been through this before. And in some ways, he's just, like I've told him, in the flow of life. He's got good things happening to him, and he's enjoying them. He's not jaded. He's not in a weird place where he's looking at what he doesn't have. He's looking at what he has, and he's grateful for it. And his life is really good because of it. It may be uncertain. It may be weird. It may be like he doesn't know exactly if Darko's going to play him every day, and he may be traded at any time. But Chris is enjoying every moment of his life right now. And that's the secret right there. That's shown maturity and growth. And the man's just winning at life no matter what, even if the Raptors are getting routed. So I love you, Chris. And I'm so happy to see your journey mentally as a person, because this is not the same Chris Boucher that did Hustle Play podcast with Mike Roach. This is a different Chris Boucher. He's leveled up as a person outside of the NBA, just so y'all know. Jamal Shed put more pictures up of kids and kid stuff from his past and being goofy. There's this one video of this kid doing Michael Jackson. He takes the jacket off and then he just starts doing the moonwalker stuff, like he's doing moonwalk and like he's doing all the Michael Jackson moves and stuff. He's pretty good, actually. He looks really like it. So whoever that kid is, Jamal Shed, that kid is doing the MJ right there. Yeah, he has definitely got it. He's definitely got it. There's Jamal with a friend, and he's saying, "Happy birthday, brother. Love you for life." Yeah, there you go. There's Bruno Fernando cheering on Bruce Brown in his debut back with the Raptors this year. Finally returning to the court. Bruno's fired up. Bruno's fired up about that. And there's Bruno also with some more pictures of him with Clint Capella and Okongwu and the Hawks, his former teammates, palling around with them. As I said, Siakam went into the Garden on Sunday and beat the Celtics. Can we do something like what they did? Hopefully Darko's seen the film of Coach Carlisle and the Pacers beating the Celtics on Sunday, and maybe there's some stuff we can steal and do ourselves to beat them ourselves today on New Year's Eve. We need to beat the Celtics. We need to stop this losing, and if we can do it, that would be fantastic. It would be really, really feel good to beat the champs to end our losing streak. It'd be really, really good. There's a Jacoby Walters signed jersey on his Instagram saying just the beginning. And let's see what he wrote on here. Practice. Appreciate you for everything. Lexi, inspiration. Jacoby. Yeah, very, very cool signed Jacoby jersey there. Very, very cool. There's the Raptor rolling into 2025 with his big inflatable round rolling down the stairs. It always seems dangerous when he does that, but the width of the stairs is wide enough to get that big puffy round weird Raptor suit down. There's Grady putting Chris on blast with his For Everybody 3-pointer that he made at halftime in the last game. Grady smiling with Chris. This is a fun picture. I like that. Davion Mitchell has got a new dog, and it's a little pretty Rottweiler. I think we saw this yesterday. And then AJ Lawson, I think I read that too. You're about to walk into a blessed part of your life. Make it happen. Yeah. The interviews yesterday were interesting. Garrett Temple kind of calling out Grady. It's like, look, we may have lost these games recently, and we may be in bad shape, but it doesn't change anything. I mean, I've been on teams in the past where we lost a lot and everybody's quiet, getting back on the team bus or on the plane, and everybody's kind of like not talking, and it's really uncomfortable. But not this team. We're professional. We talk about it. We're accountable. We talk about it out, and we're not having moments of weird, awkward silence. We're going to get on the bus, and we're going to have to tell Davion to shut up. We're going to have – this is what he said. I was like, wait, what? He's like, we're going to have to tell Davion to shut up. Because I'm guessing Davion Mitchell is just a really boisterous person, very talkative and kind of excitable and exciting. And, yeah, sometimes Davion probably is talking too much, maybe behind the scenes with the team. But, yeah, very interesting interviews and stuff like that, very, very interesting. Go watch Garrett and Darko specifically, those two guys talking about, what's been going on with the Raptors with losing lately. Yeah, let's see. All right, Monica's here. Good to see Superfan Mo back in the chat. I know Mo's had some rough times recently with different things. Very, very busy person with lots of stuff with the holidays and Raptors games going to. We know Mo was at the Atlanta game on Sunday. And, she's been very busy lately. So I'm very happy to see Mo in the chat live this morning. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Go Raptors. I decided to block out all the negative noise regarding this team. Yeah, that's just the best way to do it. I don't even check what social media people say anymore. I used to get on X or Facebook or Instagram and just go check and see what these people are saying. But it's just not worth it. I mean, I could do it right now real quick on Blue Skies, and I would just see a bunch of stupid stuff. Like, let me roast somebody real quick for saying something stupid on here. Let's see. No. This is a dumb comment. Some guy's saying Celtics host the Raptors this afternoon, and then they don't play again until next year. Yeah, dummy. It's New Year's Eve. They're going to play them next year again very soon because they're going to play the Celtics again in January, I believe. So it's so dumb. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb stuff out there right now, other than really dumb jokes like New Year's jokes like that. But yeah, it's tough because, there is a lot of down because of the losing. And, people that feel like they know the Raptors so well are just like, yeah, they suck. They're horrible. Well, why are you giving your opinion? We don't need to hear it because it's not true. And if you listen to me earlier, on any given day, you can take a snapshot of an NBA team and they'll be what you think they are at that moment. But that doesn't stay that way forever. It really, really doesn't. And maybe they're in a bad place right this second. But boy, if they beat the Celtics today, they're going to be in a totally different place by later this afternoon. So, yeah, that's what they need to realize real quick. So save your negativity. Nobody ain't got no time for it. No, we don't. Monique don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. We have a team we root for blindly, and we're going to root for them no matter what. And that's what we're doing today. Monique, salute to you. Thank you, Superfan, for your leadership. And also, I commend you for blocking the negative noise out. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. We know what we know, and we're going to watch it with our own two eyes, and we are going to see what we see. And we don't need all the extra voices, peanut gallery, telling us what they see, because understanding that what we see is not necessarily always educated in some of the people that are seeing it from where they're seeing it. That's right. Point of view that I'm a diehard a Raptors fan that loves his team and wishes the best for them and wants to see the best for them. That's what I see. That's right. Nako's saying Scotty scoring over 30 is all I need. All I need is just a little more points from Scotty Barnes in the game. Yeah, listen to a little Jack Wagner, right? Isn't that what that is? All I need. Isn't that from the old soap opera actor Jack Wagner? Something like that. Saying all I need is just a little more time. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Scotty get 30 today. Come on, Scott. Come on. I have the Tiger, baby. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, rising up to the challenge of your rivals. And it's Tatum and Brown, my guys. So you got to rise up to that challenge and beat those dudes, man. RJ ain't running with you today. So, Scotty, you got to do it yourself. You may not even have Grady. So you got to do it yourself. In some ways, you got to carry, my guy. And you need to rise up to the challenge of your rivals, which is the champions, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So, yeah, let's see how eye of the tiger you are today, Scotty, with rising up to the challenge of your rivals. That's right. I'm going to keep saying that eye of the tiger so because it's meaningful. It means something, Scott. And if they're going to go get 30 points each, possibly, hopefully not. Hopefully we can keep them down, Ochai Agbaji, get that good defense on them. And you get 30 points and they don't, hey, you're rising up the challenge of the rivals. You're beating them because that's what I want, Scott. Get 30. That's right. I'm with Nako on that. Evelyn's here. Good to see Granny Evelyn back in the chat. Happy New Year's, Raptor Freak family. Happy New Year's to you, Evelyn. Here's to 2025, a better year, hopefully. And hopefully everything for you, smooth and awesome and all kinds of things working in your favor. That's what I wish for you, Granny, for the new year. All of good things coming to you. That's right, my dear. That's right. Smooth is here. Good to see Reggie. I'm really only invested in Grady's development. He is really about winning. I love it. That's what I'm saying. These guys have a certain way that they want to be. And if it ain't lining up with the reality of what the results are right now, well, some things got to be accountable and fixed so they can get on back on track and start winning again. It's hard. This league is a hard league to win in. And you got to have all kinds of things going the right way to win in the NBA consistently. And they're learning what it is. They're so young. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they're going to get there. And they're smart and they understand the assignment. And in some ways, if you're dumb and you don't understand the assignment, you get all bent out of shape of stupid stuff. Well, maybe you'll get all messed up. But these guys are smart. They understand it. I hope Grady plays today. We'll have to see, Reggie. He may not play today, just so you know. Wayne is saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. OKC and Memphis in the last 5 years sucked. Similarly, we were champions. Lesson in life is a circle. Learn, develop, and winning will come. That's all I got. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year to you, Wayne, also. Yeah, it's all cyclical. The NBA is cyclical. Teams are going to come up and teams are going to come down, and it's all in its right place. It's really hard to stay on top forever, like all the time. San Antonio did it for a while. Golden State did it for a while. You know, back in the day, the Bulls did it for a while, but this new NBA is not like this. In some ways, you got to have strings of very good injury-free years, and you got to have hits on lower players on your roster that you're not paying a whole lot. Maybe the rookies or journeymen that come on really veteran minimums. You got to have a lot go right for you to stay up top. And I think Denver is a good example of this because they won their championship a couple years ago. And look, they have not been able to keep their team at the same kind of level of excellence because people have left, because they've gone to other teams. And it's not the exact same Denver Nuggets team that won the championship a couple years ago. So it's really, really hard unless the NBA is helping you keep your team together to keep a winning squad together for years. And I'm telling you, it's not a given that this team we're playing today is going to repeat and be the champions again this year, because it's harder than ever right now to build a dynasty and become a multiple year champion in the NBA. It used to be very conducive for it. It used to be that way, but Adam Silver's changed the rules in the salary cap, and it's not that easy anymore. In fact, the Celtics are very unlikely to repeat as champions this year, if you ask me. Seriously, because it's just the way that it's built at this point. It's just how it is. Smooth saying, I'm giving Scotty a pass this year. I hope he recalibrates in the offseason, though, changes his mentality. His happy-go-lucky attitude and aloofness isn't a good look. I don't even see that this year, though. I've seen it in the past. This year, he's much more dialed in. This year, he's much more serious. In some ways, some of the extracurricular stuff he did before that drove me nuts is not rearing its face very often. Sure, maybe sometimes he'll look back on a dunk just before he's going to dunk it. He still does that to a degree. But a lot of the sloppy stuff that he did that was unnecessary, he's cleaning it up. And some of it has to do with how he reacts and deals with the referees. He's gotten a lot better at his referee relations instead of just getting all angry and yelling and gesticulating and going crazy. Nah, he's getting better at controlling himself in those situations. I have a theory about something, and I was thinking about this the other day, and I'm going to present it to you guys right now. Throughout the history of the Raptors of Masai's era, we've had a main player that has been very loud and vocal on the floor. And back in the day, it was DeMar, y'all. DeMar DeRozan in the 2010s was very loud when you get hit. Like, and then we had Siakam. We knew Siakam was getting hit too because we could hear him going, and now we have Scotty, who's very vocal and loud on the court also. I think that this is actually smart, and this is actually a symbol of being a Raptor in some ways, that we make noise when we're getting fouled because often the foul whistle is not happening. And, well, this is the way that our players are signifying that they're getting fouled, and the referee should maybe call it. And before it was Siakam, it was DeRozan, and now it's Scotty. So we just have very vocal, loud players that make the noise when they get fouled. And in some ways, it's becoming a tradition in some ways because Siakam was very noisy. He probably still is for the Pacers. And DeRozan was kind of noisy in the past too, but now it's Scotty. And in some ways, this is just because the Raptors get shafted on fouls, and we need to be vocally distressed out there so that they get to know that, well, maybe Scotty's getting fouled right now. And that's why he's going, oh! I was thinking about this deeply. It's like, Siakam was really noisy too. Wait a second. So was DeMar back in the day. I think I figured out why this is happening. It could very well be that the coaches are saying, yeah, make a little noise when you're getting hit, because hopefully the referees will respect that and give you foul shots, stuff like that. It's very interesting. Let's see. Nako's saying Avatar, the Last Airbender. Yeah, that's the picture on Chris's Instagram stories of what he was saying there. Yeah, about being chill when he's about to lose it, but be chill. That's right. So he's saying, especially when the team is losing, man, RJ needs to mentor Scotty, in my opinion. Well, Scott, listen, he gets it. He's not, one thing we got to say, all right, Scotty may be young. Scotty may be immature in some ways, but he's actually grown up way a lot. If I think about the kid that I used to watch on Twitch the summer after his rookie year, he's not the same person in any kind of way. He's way more worldly. He's way more astute. He's way more understanding of his place in the world. At that point, he was like, I don't understand why people like me. Why am I famous? Dude, you're in the NBA. You're an all-star now. You were the rookie of the year at that time. And he just didn't grasp it. And well, now he does. He's starting to grasp it. Maybe it's the big contract extension signing last summer. Maybe it's just being in the rigmarole of the NBA for a while. He's getting it more and more. And I always say this, like in the interview after the game when they lost, he came and sat down and faced the press after that Atlanta game, and he took some very tough questions. He took questions that I was talking about earlier, where they gaslight and they start saying, "Well, what you guys are losing so much?" And they say, "How do you feel about being here?" And all this kind of, they're asking really messed up questions, and he's fielding them all and basically saying, this is not acceptable. This is not who we are. I don't want this to happen anymore. I hate losing. And we're going to continue to work and get this right. And we're not turning on each other. We love each other. And we are going to fight with each other to fight against everybody else. We're going to be on our side, and we're going to go out and we're going to get it. And we're going to figure it out. In some ways, we got to remember, once again, everybody's different on different schedules. Scotty may not have shown up with certain things like LeBron James did in the NBA, but he has skills that can be developed into, that he can get over time. And in some ways, some of it is just learning the new mentality, maturing, and being more aware of his powers and exactly what all he can do on the court. And in some ways, in the last two games, he has discovered more about what he can do. And like Darko said, he's very proud of him. In fact, he said the same thing I've been saying since the Memphis game and the Atlanta game, that Scotty's leveling up right now. That's what Darko said in his interview, that I see Scotty leveling up right now. So why is it that his coach and me are seeing something out of Scott that's new, and we're really, really impressed, and we're like, wow. And then casuals who are turning on Scotty right now are getting all mad at him. You know why? Because Scotty dared to do stuff in the last two games that he hadn't done before, and he failed. That's part of the problem. He tried to go up against Ja Morant. He tried to go up against Trae Young and tried to do the superstar tit for tat, and he lost. And in some ways, to people that are casuals, winning is everything. And when they see somebody go up against somebody in a superstar battle like that, they're like, oh, he's a loser. He sucks. He'll never be able to carry us if he can't beat these guys now. No. This is not what you should be looking at, casual Raptor fans that are going after Scott right now and think that he's not very good. You should be seeing what Darko and I see. And that's him rising to the challenge to take it. And even if he's not successful right now, to beat those guys in those superstar matchups back and forth, he will at some point. And finally, he's, like I've said, rising up to the challenge of his rivals and trying to go back and forth with top level superstars in this league and ascending himself into their stratosphere to compete with them. And he's going to start beating them, is what I'm going to say. So casuals, you go ahead and dump on Scotty, because he was a failure the last two games at beating Ja Morant and Trae Young at their own games, but he is going to beat them at some point, and y'all are going to be like, oh, crap. And this is what Darko and I understand and we see, because he changed. He turned on a light. He switched a switch on, and he said, yeah, now I'm going to start playing against these guys, going at them like a Magic would go at a Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan would go at a Magic. So I'm just saying, that's part of it right there. And that Darko sees it, and I see it too. I see it too. I don't think that I think that Scotty understands this better than you think, Smooth. I think that he's very well connected with our front office, our coach, and the rest of the players, and they're all on the same page. Darko and Masai talked to Scotty about this process, and Scotty's not out of the loop. Scotty's not dumb. He understands what we're doing right now and what it means to put the roots in for the future. And he's all about it. He's all about it. In some ways, Scotty doesn't look at this as a short-term project. He understands he's with the Raptors for a while, and that it's going to take some time for them to age as a group and get to new levels over time. And he's excited about it. He understands that this stuff sucks. Nobody wants to lose, but he understands that the good stuff's coming later. Watch. He does understand this. Randolph's here. New Year's Eve game day blessings to our beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. So is he. Change your thinking now for positive change to happen in the new year. Yeah, Raptors fans, don't think certain things about the Raptors. Change your thinking, and there he is. I mean, seriously, perception can really rule your world. And if your perception is the world is awful and dystopian and awful and just garbage, well, that's what you get. If you want it to be positive and happy and feel good about things, you can have that too. So it's really where you put your attention and how you want to perceive the world. In some ways, yeah, it's real easy to get jaded and be upset the NBA is crooked. The system of capitalism and the way it's crushing people and humanity in certain ways, that sucks. But it's where you want to put your attention and in your energy. That will become your reality. So in some ways, it's like, nah, don't go, la, 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 I'm not listening. You could do that to an extent, and you'll be happier. So it's kind of like ignorance is bliss kind of thing. So yeah, there you go, Randolph. Thank you, Randolph, for your words of wisdom, and happy New Year's to the Phillips family, all the Raptor Freak families out there, and blessings to all y'all too. Roger Raymond saying, good day, Raptors Freaks. I think RJ did not travel to Boston with the team. Yeah, he did not. He's still getting that pukey here and there. Of course, he tossed his cookies right before a game last week and could not play all of a sudden. And well, yeah, he's not coming on this trip. So obviously he's still got a nagging illness that haven't been bugging him for like the whole month, pretty much, of December. So yeah, no RJ and no Emmanuel for sure today. Grady questionable himself, as long with Bruno Fernando and Davion Mitchell also. Yeah, Wayne saying Scotty's issue, in my opinion, he's much bulkier, and I think after successive injuries, he's out of sync with his body. Next, he's just not gelling with Jakob. Jakob needs his touches. Yeah, I don't know about those. Scotty is a supreme athlete, and he really does have really good timing and touch and things like that. I think that this is what they said, both of them, Garrett and Darko, yesterday, that Scotty is not 100%. He's still hobbling. He still has a hip injury. He has a nagging ankle injury, and he's playing through stuff. And this is what Garrett really illuminated this. He's saying, yeah, he's going through some things right now, but he's paddling and he's still going out there and trying to lead. So that's commendable. So we got to understand Scotty is still not totally 100%, but they both noted that Scotty looked better in the last game moving around than he did against Memphis. And so he's progressing and he's getting better. So yeah, Scotty's hurt. He's still hurt on the down low, but he's going out to play and showing up and not missing games. And he's giving it his best. And that's all we can ask for with him. As far as him and Yak, this is the thing. In the last game, when Scotty threw that ball off of Jakob's head, you got to understand, Jakob Poeltl is a rhythm kind of player, and he was off for a couple games. He was not able to play, and it's just kind of like Gary Trent or a shooter coming back. They got to find their shooting rhythm. Well, in some ways, Jakob has to find his rhythm within the team with passing and being the hub again. And that's why he wasn't as effective against Atlanta, because it's his first game back. Atlanta had a lot of long-arm guys that were kind of crowding things, and Jakob just wasn't really in his rhythm with the other teammates yet. We got to remember also, Scotty's such a high-level player. He passes some stuff that sometimes his own teammates don't see right away, and that's what's happening sometimes too. So Scott's got to rein it in and understand when to greenlight those passes and them to be understanding when he's going to throw them, because sometimes he's catching everybody off guard, and those aren't good passes when it's like that. You may see them, Scott, but if you're a person you're passing to is not ready, that's not a good pass. That's a turnover. And that is not playing point guard correctly. So, yeah, he's got to be better about understanding with eye contact that the guy's ready for the pass. And that's not on Jakob. That's on Scott trying to force passes at times when people aren't ready for them. And, well, his teammates need to get better at understanding, well, when Scott's on the court and the way he plays, you need to be ready at all times that he might throw it to you, and try and have an awareness for that. And, that some of that is just familiarity and reps built up with the players to get there. But I think that in some ways, look, we've seen give and go plays with RJ and Jakob that are beautiful. We've seen give and go plays with Grady and Jakob that are beautiful. We've seen them with Scotty too. So there's no specific problem with Jakob and Scotty gelling. No, there isn't. In fact, we've seen them play very well off each other this season. Earlier. Yeah, Andrew's back. Guys, it's Andrew. Andrew's back. Raptor Freak Andrew, Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year. We haven't seen him in a bit. Good morning, everyone. Hope y'all have been good. I haven't been in stream recently as I started my first HVAC job. Despite losing streak, I will always be positive about this team. The future is bright. There you go. I love it. There you go, Andrew. Yeah, we love you, Andrew. Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year, Andrew, for being here. The future's so bright. We got to put on our shades. And congratulations on your HVAC job, man. I hope it's going really, really well. You're learning a lot, and you're getting, good work and getting good wages. And, man, Andrew, so proud of you. We missed you, man. The Raptor Freak channel is always here for you when you are able to come in on the live and say hi to us. I know you've been watching us otherwise, maybe not live also. But Andrew, salute to you, and the future's bright. That's why I'm wearing these shades. It is bright out. It's kind of bright here. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me go do the Instagram. We'll do the classic card. Why not? We're at the end of the chat. I don't know why I shake them like that. It's not like it mixes them. All right. We're getting the classic Christmas cards from this Christmas that were given to me by my niece and nephew at Christmas. These are Christmas cards from Hoops, and they're current. So they're not totally classic, guys. So here we go. Here's the classic card of the day. First person to write their full name in will get the classic card trivia points for today. Let's see if you can figure out who that is. This is a player that I think he's done now, isn't he? Yeah, I think we heard that he's done with his career at this point. Marcus Smart? No, that's not Marcus Smart. That is Derrick Rose. Andrew got it. Yeah, that's Derrick Rose, and he was on the Memphis Grizzlies last year, and I believe he retired, didn't he? Didn't Derrick Rose just recently retire? Yeah, so this Derrick Rose, Andrew, coming back just in time to get a classic card. Here we go. Let's put it in here real quick. Derrick Rose, D Rosen. That's why I always get confused when somebody says D Rose. I always think that like they mean Derrick Rose, and then they switch it up and it's DeRozan. They're talking about D Rose is Derrick Rose, right? D Rose. I don't know. Either way. Anyway, all right, let's see. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about. Maybe we'll get done on the chat real quick because I've done my ref report and I've done that. Let me see. I did the Instagram. Okay, let's do a birthday real quick. Happy birthday to former assistant coach for the Raptors, Tyrone Corbin. It is Tyrone Corbin's birthday on New Year's Eve. He is, how old is he today? He's 62 years old. Tyrone Corbin, former Utah Jazz player. And also assistant coach currently. I believe he's assistant coach for somebody in the league right now. But yeah, former assistant coach Tyrone Corbin's birthday today. Yeah, he's my profile pic. I got to get it right. Oh, D Rose is in your picture there. Yeah, that is him in there. Yeah, you better get that. So I guess he's one of your favorite players. Well, if you like this card, you can get this card for free, Andrew, at the Raptors 905 Valley Suns game on January the 19th on a Sunday, 2 p.m. I will be down there and I'll bring this card with me. And if you want, I'll give it to you. And you can have this Derrick Rose, beautiful, shiny NBA Hoops card from last year for one of your favorite players. That's right. I bring the classic cards to the Hangouts, and you can get some of them. Some of these guys came and got some of them. I think MK came and got a very beautiful Kawhi Leonard card that I had when we went to the game against Westchester Knicks last month. And Monique cleaned up too. She got some good Raptors cards also. So, yeah, y'all check out the Valley Suns versus the Raptors 905 on January the 19th, coming up in like 3 weeks, 3 weeks from yesterday. We'll be at the game once again. I want to try and sit courtside. So if you want to come down and go to a 905 game with the Raptors streak, that's our next hangout, January 19th. That's right. Brian's here. All right. Brian's here. To the points, Brian is here. What's up, Freak Nation? Let's hope the Raps end this streak tonight. Well, let's do it earlier than that. It's this afternoon. Game time, tip off, 3 p.m. today, Brian. They're going to let them play an afternoon game to give them time to get on the plane and fly back to Toronto to play the Nets tomorrow. Yeah, this is a wicked back-to-back. I mean, seriously, NBA, why you do this to us? You put us on New Year's Eve against the Celtics in Boston, and then we got to come back home and play the Brooklyn Nets on New Year's Day. That's one of the most wicked back-to-backs, doing it over New Year's Eve. Wow. I've never seen them do this to the Raptors before. It's either we got a New Year's game or a New Year's Day game, but never having it like where we're traveling overnight on New Year's Eve to come back home and go through customs at Pearson. Although I'll tell you, customs at Pearson ain't nothing at this point. You know, everybody complains about customs at the airport, but they have such a good system at Pearson at this point that it's like nothing. I sprinted through customs when I got back from Atlanta last week. They didn't even like try and check me for anything. I declared through the little computer. There's no wait. You walk right up. There's no wait. Nobody's standing there. And then they waved me through. They're just like, that guy's wearing Raptors gear. He seems like a nice guy. He's from here. Go on through, my guy. I won't even ask you a question. I just run right through. And boom, I'm back home in the homeland in Canada. And no problems asked. So, yeah, customs isn't like what everybody thinks it is anymore. They have so many computers down there for you to check yourself with your declarations. And then the people that are sitting there, they're very quick and they expedite you. You know, they see like, oh, this person's on the up and up. Go on through. Happy holidays. So, yeah, the customs thing and travel with the NBA. And these guys are doing Nexus stuff. They're like high level travelers that go through their own special lines and stuff. There's no weight in this. So people saying customs is an issue, it's not really at this point, not even for ordinary citizens. You go fly and go through Pearson and see just how much you can get through there quickly if you can run fast. It's just a lot of running. It's like that airport, they took the walking sidewalks out. You get off the plane and you got to walk all of this down along this long corridors and down this escalator. And then there's a big, huge room with a bunch of computers, and you could get to a computer quick and then boom, get through. It's like that right now. Yeah, customs ain't nothing right now. I'm telling you from my own experience. The last couple times I've gone through there, hardly any wait. None of this crazy stuff that you think right now. Yeah. Brian's saying, I think our boys would get closer ringing in the new year together and not getting hung over. I don't think that many of the Raptors are actually drinkers. There probably are a few of them that imbibe. I keep saying imbibe. That imbibe on the alcohol. Once again, I'll be an advocate once again against being for being sober. It's like, y'all, seriously, people, you can change your brain chemistry because you drink too much. You can become a more bitter, angry person because you drink too much. And, being hungover is uncomfortable. Your body's like fighting toxins in your body to get out of you. No wonder you feel so shitty. No wonder you hate the world when you're hungover because you poison the hell out of your body. And that's why you're at that point. Seriously, it's crazy. So, yeah, I just say that, if you're going to have a good time tonight, have a good time, but maybe drink responsibly. Don't drink to the point where you're pissing your pants and throwing up all over the place. That's pathetic and sad. And do you ever want to get to that point in your life? No. So yeah, have some respect for yourself and keep your liberties and your civil faculties in your brain still kind of active, and don't just drink yourself into obliteration. How about that? How about that? Just a little kind of like, have some respect for yourself and don't get so drunk. And if you do get that kind of drunk, maybe you need help. If you're drinking so much that you're passing out and pissing your pants, or you're drinking so much that you can't keep your cookies down, you're tossing them every which way. I see Isaac Campbell's here, W. Andrew, and the other 15 real ones in the chat. Been busy too, but no better to end the year. That's right. There you go. Listen, I know everybody's with me at different times. I know Isaac's a long-standing sheriff wrench wielding guy on my channel, and I love Isaac, but it's not every day that everybody's going to comment. It's just how it is. And in some days, I'm glad that we have different people that kind of step in. And in some ways, I really kind of like that we became more basketball focused this year. There's one thing that we've done over this course of 2024 is the Raptor Freak channel has gotten a little bit more tightened up with focus. And that's something that I appreciate because honestly, it was a political year. It was an awful year for politics too. And in some ways, it's like, look, I want to be a ray of sunshine, and I can't just talk doomsday dystopian bullshit about the political situation in the world right now all the time. In some ways, this channel is for talking about Raptors. And I'm glad that in some ways we've tightened up our game and we keep more focused on the subject we're supposed to talk about now. I mean, I still talk about other stuff here and there, but it's not as big a percentage as it used to be in past years on this channel. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys with in all kinds of different ways, guys. You guys are awesome, especially Isaac. Isaac is amazing. Roger's saying hopefully our three-point shooting gets better as the team gets healthier. Yeah. I mean, I really do think that Emmanuel in some ways will give us a good big bump on this because that's just his nature. And Darko wants him to shoot a lot of threes. So I really wish Quickly would get healthy and come back because he's such a different dimension for us in all kinds of different ways. And he really is one of the main three top guys for us. And we just got to see what he does. Andrew said, I hope Bruce gets that value up. It seemed like he did pretty good in the first appearance as far as showing he's healthy, showing that he's still got some good legs for like lateralness with defense. And, well, getting up and getting that dunk was a sure good sign that he still got it with the hops. I'd like to see him bomb a bunch of threes tonight. How about that? Bruce, can you come out there and just give us like 3 or 4 threes just to help us try and compete with the Celtics kind of style of play? Because that would be very helpful. Jacoby Walter, could you be hitting your threes tonight too? Because that could be very helpful. Grady's not going to play. That could be a problem because he's probably our best three-point shooter. Maybe Jamison Battle gets a little bit of extra time as that floor spacer, three-point specialist for us today. Yeah, because we do kind of want to match the firepower of the Celtics and what they try to do night in, night out. We'll have to see. Yeah, let's see. Andrew saying it was crazy to see him play. I'm so used to him sitting on the bench with a cowboy hat. I know. I know. It was weird seeing Bruce finally get out there. Surreal in some ways. It was a real kind of Rudy story, like the movie Rudy. All of his teammates were so happy and cheering him on. Yay, he's back. Yay. I know. Fans were like that too. And we've been like wondering, where the hell have you been, Bruce? Come on, man. We wanted you at the beginning of the season, and you just showed up just a few days shy of the end of the year. Yeah, it is what it is. At least he's back. At least he's back. That's right. Yeah, let's see. Roger's saying without other shooting threats, Grady is going to get hounded. Well, that is if Grady plays. I'm going to bet you that Grady doesn't play today for some reason. I'm going to bet you right now. It could very well be smart strategy. Let Grady and RJ not play today, and maybe they're fresh and available for tomorrow on the second night of a back-to-back against the Brooklyn Nets in a game that we probably have a better chance of winning. Yeah, I really want to win either tonight or tomorrow. I'm sick of this losing. I don't want to be on a 12-game losing streak after the Brooklyn game tomorrow that I'm going to. I'll be in attendance at the game tomorrow. And I don't want to. I want to see them win finally again. I'm coming down there to the arena tomorrow with the energy that we're going to win. I know Monique's going to be doing the same when she comes down the game also. So we need to win this one tomorrow. I'm telling you. Brian saying, let's hope the D steps up and keeping the turnovers to a minimum. Yeah. Yeah. The turnover stuff is interesting because, once again, I want to give a lot of credit to the two teams we just played, Memphis and Atlanta. They just really have good systems by their coaches for really being disruptive and garnering turnovers. And that was probably one of the biggest things. You add in that our offense is shaky and maybe not totally together with new people coming in, with injuries coming back, and they're not totally all gelled. As much as it's nice to have Bruce back, Jamal and Jacoby back all of a sudden, and Jakob in the last game, it's also throwing 4 players in your rotation that were not playing in the rotation the couple games before. And that's always an issue when you have so many players come back from injury at once. Sometimes there's connectivity and gelling issues. And I think that was part of the problem on Sunday against Atlanta on the down low, guys. That's what I was thinking right there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Andrew saying, wait, wasn't IQ supposed to come back mid-December? Yes, he was. But, he is practiced to a certain level. He has been practicing for a couple weeks now, but he can't use his left arm completely in the right way. And they've made it very well known that Quickly wants to be 100% before he returns to the lineup. So even if he's kind of okay and he could maybe play, he can't totally use his left arm correctly. That's what they're waiting for, is they want him to be able to use his left arm. And obviously, if this is an arm injury, they want to make sure that he's fully healed before they bring him back. They're really babying this. I mean, they did the same thing with Bruce. Bruce, in some ways, probably could have came back a month ago, but they really, really made sure that he was ready and completely healthy before they chanced it. And I think it's a similar thing with IQ. It's a similar thing right now. Monique's saying my write-ups have stopped for now. She doesn't want to do the write-ups because the games are so bad right now. And also, in some ways, it's like if she writes them up, maybe some idiots are coming in and writing comments and saying dumb stuff, like putting down the team. And she's just, in some ways, she doesn't want to garner that attention. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, even on this channel, I mean, yesterday we had Giovanni show up and he wanted to tell us all the things that are wrong with the Raptors. I'm like, dude, you're not here every day. I don't want to hear it from you, man. If you're in the trenches with us every day, talking like on the Raptor Freak channel every morning with comments like Wayne and Smooth and Monique and different people like that, okay, I want to listen to your opinion about what's going on. But if you just came in just to dump on us right now, there's a little bit of that going on with Raptors fans that where they feel like, as the team's so bad, they have the license to just shit all over the Raptors right now and just go off on them. It's not necessary. And honestly, it just really kind of speaks to the kind of fan you are. Seriously, you're the kind of person that gets a dog, and if the puppy doesn't go on the puppy pad, you're like yelling at the dog and being really mean to it and not being in a very nice way. It's like helpful to the dog. The dog's just confused. In some ways that's, I don't mind fans being critical and wanting to talk about the team in helpful ways. Like, let's talk about how we could help them. Like, how do we cut down the turnovers? How do we increase 3-point shots and making them? Let's talk about that. Let's not just say, oh, the Raptors suck, they're horrible, and I hate them on the down low, even though I act like I'm a Raptors fan. Because that's a lot of some of this stuff in some ways that's going on right now. I get it. Trevor's saying, just came back to say Happy New Year's to all you guys. Had to make arrangements for people who are coming. That's right. He's got VIPs. Can you tell us who's coming if they're a celebrity, Trevor J, or is there an NDA? That you can't say, oh, this is who's coming to my house. J-Lo's coming over for New Year's at Trevor J's palace. That's right. What? J-Lo? J-Lo? Jennifer Lopez? No, my friend James Lopez. Ha, ha, ha. Let's see. Andrew's saying Dyson Daniels is a dog. He didn't even play. This crazy, really good defender for Atlanta. They didn't even need him against us the other day, which is too bad. Brian saying, gotta go, Freak Nation. Hope y'all have a great New Year. Thanks. Back to you, Brian. I hope you're well. Yeah, I didn't like seeing that you got hurt recently, and things have been crazy for you recently. But Brian, I hope your life's calming down and good things are happening for you. And to the point in the new year. That's right, man. I need to talk to your producer. Does he give a good rate? Because I have an idea for how he may be able to help the Raptors Freak channel. I'm going to see if he comes in the chat one day, and I'm going to talk to him real quick. Andrew's saying the casuals don't understand the big picture of this team. No, in some ways, these guys are not. Some ways, these are not Raptors fans. They're just people that live in Toronto, and they may not be big NBA fans. And in some ways, on the download, the Raptors are just kind of something for them to make fun of at times. And that's annoying. I'm telling you, our media and people have conditioned people to make the Raptors the butt of the joke. And in some ways, I'm sick of it. That's why I made this channel. We want respect, and we're going to carve out respect because we are a team that has done a lot in our 30 years as a franchise already. And we don't deserve this crap. And that's why I stand like this. And the sad thing is we have a lot of gaslighting fans that are supposedly Raptors fans in the middle of our fan nation. And then they'll say stuff like, well, we're just realists. We just really know basketball. Bullshit, motherfucker. You just hate your life. And it's manifesting through you talking trash about the Raptors. In some ways, I say this. If you're really a Raptors fan and you talk about the Raptors, listen to how you talk about them. And that's how you talk about yourself, is what I say about that. Seriously, if you're a work in progress as a person, we all are, well, the team's a work in progress. And if you can nurture and look at the bright sides and the positive sides of things and nurture things to get better and better in your own life, and the similar kind of stuff will happen with the Raptors. But if you hate your life, if you're miserable, you get all upset when there's any kind of failure or any kind of sadness in your life, well, you're just a wreck and you're not an emotionally mature person. And that's part of the problem too. There's a lot of these Raptors fans that are not emotionally mature, and they don't understand how to go through the roller coaster of winning and losing with an NBA franchise in a healthy way. And that's part of the problem also. So, yeah, I don't know. I always say, listen, you're a Raptors fan. All right, let's talk about Jakob Poeltl. How do you feel about him? Okay, that tells me something about you. And then, okay, let's talk about, them losing. How do you feel about this team? It's, this team's garbage. I hate them. They suck so bad right now. I don't even watch them anymore. Okay, you're not a Raptors fan. Because in some ways, you got to understand the rules of what we're doing right now is helping our team through a rebuild, and it's not all about winning everything and getting Larry O'Brien. So get with the program and get on the same page with us. We got to be there for our team no matter what, ride or die. And if you don't have the strength or willingness to do this or to catch losses with them like we are right now, well, then you don't deserve to be there to catch the W's with them. And then the ways that, like, I knew they were going to do it all this time. Bullshit. You were talking trash about them in the winter of 2024, right before 2025, and they were really, really bad. Yeah, you were dumping on them. I remember because you were telling it to me, and now we see we're on top, and now you want to get all the spoils and the happiness of winning, even though you were dumping on them in their darkest hour. Yeah, that's not a real one, as far as I'm concerned. That's not a real one right there. Wayne's saying lexicon, no mention of Oshai. Again, he's not playing badly, and he's a solid player. The point is that we need more. Some days normal is okay. Other days we want more movement and more aggression. Well, Oshai has been a little bit down after the great start this season. He's gotten his scoring up, and he was doing really good with the threes. But in recent games, he's kind of not playing well. He had a 1-for-6 game in the last game. And, his defense obviously isn't like top notch right now because teams are just scoring like crazy on us. I think Oshai's having a great year. He's having a career year. But he's on a bit of a slump right now with making his threes and doing good things on defense right now. But tonight is a great game today. for him to break out of it and show good stuff. It'll get him good confidence if he can slow down Tatum or Brown today. And if he starts nailing a few threes and gets back on track offensively, hey, there you go. But Oshai hasn't been as strong in recent games just recently. And that's, just what it is. He's the only player that's played in every single game other than Mobo this season. So he may be a little worn. People are talking about walls and people getting tired and being sick. Well, Oshai's been there every game, and he's been taking a lot of physical contact as an undersized player in the front court, and that is a part of it too. And just say Daniels has just been going crazy this year. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't see him against us on Sunday, and that means Atlanta's even better than what we saw in that game because he wasn't available. G saying, I'm not a trade rumor person, but this one makes sense. Mavs looking at Bruce Brown since he played with Kyrie already. Yeah, that might be a good fit for them there. I think that Clay's not working out completely right for them so far. And maybe they want to supplement some of the stuff that they wanted from Clay with Bruce Brown. That seems like a good trade partner with us if we're going to move Bruce Brown. I could see that. Carlos saying, good morning, Lex and fellow freaks. Let's have a New Year's Eve miracle win against Boston. Yeah, no expectations, though. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like I said, crazier things happen in this league. Everybody's looking down on the Raptors right now. A lot of fans probably will not try to watch this game today because they're busy with their own New Year's. And all of a sudden, who knows? Maybe the Raptors will win against the Celtics because nobody else is watching. And boom, all of a sudden, we got good feelings going. The real ones will watch like we will. And the Celtics lose, and the Raptors get the win, and they feel better about themselves. And this helps get them more good momentum going. Because instead of feeling down because they made the most turnovers in the NBA this season in the last game, or they allowed the most points in the NBA this season, and the game before that, they just beat the defending champions on their home court. And that's what I'm telling you. You can turn vibes around like, woo, 180 real quick in the NBA with the schedule and the way it is, and overachieving and beating a team that you were not supposed to beat. And that's why I'm hoping that this can happen today. Roger's all for a New Year's Eve miracle today. I am too, man. I am too. Andrew's saying, seems like the Nuggets are really missing Bruce and KCP. Yeah, I mean, Bruce, they missed right away after him leaving immediately after the championship. But then they had Contavious Caldwell-Pope for a couple of years, and then they just lost him this summer. And he's a really big one that they've been missing. The Nuggets had a really bad start to this season. Jamal Murray's been on and off the disabled list. And in some ways, they are just not getting the support from their bench and their role players to help Jokic and Jamal be the level that the Nuggets want to be. I'm telling you, this league's way different, and it's more in flux than ever. You can be the belle of the ball and the top dog in the league, but not for long. It very much changes like that because there's so many different teams. There's parity, and they can all rise up with good luck and injuries and just surging up with good play at certain specific key times. And all of a sudden you have a new top dog in the NBA out of the blue. It could be Orlando. It could be Cleveland. It could be Milwaukee. It could be any of these teams at the top of the East. And then there's a whole ton of Western teams that are dangerous and scary, like Oklahoma City, Memphis, Minnesota. The Sun. Well, the Suns aren't very good right now. But you know what I'm talking about. Golden State has been better this year too. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, let me do a wrap up and I'll get out of here. No reason to do an extra long stream. The game's at 3 p.m. And yeah, we got to get ready to watch it. I'm glad they made it earlier in the day. I was really worried they're going to have to play at 7 and do all that traffic late tonight. That'd be really crazy. Yeah, Monique's got my keep up the great streams, Lex. Raptor Freak crew, strong forever. I appreciate that, super fan Mo. Appreciate that. Kareem saying, smoked my last cigarette this morning. Looking forward to quitting that shit for the 489th time. Well, you know what, Kareem? I actually can counsel you on how to quit smoking cigarettes. I am good at helping people quit smoking cigarettes. And in some ways, if you want to know my main trick, this is what I always tell people. And this is what you need to remember. Now, going cold turkey on New Year's Eve for a New Year's resolution is very difficult to do. Now, if you can do it, I applaud you, but it's very, very difficult because it is a chemical and you get addicted to it. The best way to get rid of cigarettes in your life is to wean yourself off of them. And the way to do that is to need less and less nicotine as time goes on. So I tell people to quit cigarettes on the Shack plan. And you're like, what? The Shaq plan? Why do you call that the Shaq plan? Because you want to smoke cigarettes like Shaq makes free throws, every other one. And basically the technique is, Kareem, when you get that instant where you want to have a cigarette, well, you got to do it like Shaq. That first time you feel it, you miss the free throw. So you don't go do it. You kind of pass on that. You say, all right, I want a cigarette, but nah, you know what? I'm doing it the Shaq method. I missed this free throw. I'm not going to indulge on having the cigarette right now because I just felt it. Now, maybe you have the next inkling of when you want to have the cigarette a half an hour later, maybe 10 minutes later or something like that. And then you're like, okay, I do want the cigarette now. And then you can go have it. But it's like every other time you have the impetus or the want to have a cigarette, you say no to yourself and you don't do it. So in some ways, you want those intervals to stretch out longer and longer, and you'll be smoking half the cigarettes and more time over time. So that's just a technique I personally used, and it was very effective. I've quit smoking at least 3 times in my life, and it's very much stuck. 2 of those times for long periods of time. I quit for 5 years, and then I started again after I got a divorce, and then I quit again. I guess it's been almost 5 years now that I have not had any cigarettes or cigars or anything like that. And one of the other techniques I did was I smoked cigars to quit cigarettes. And you just smoke a really nasty cigar, and it'll be like, yeah, I don't want to smoke anymore after a while. So, Kareem, I applaud you. If you can do it cold turkey, go ahead and do it that way. That's great, but it's very difficult. And if you can't, you can do the Shaq method and wean yourself off of it. And over time, you'll be like, you know what? I don't want a cigarette anymore because I don't need it. You got to train your body to not want it. There you go. There you go. Roger, thanks for your comments today. And Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam. And happy game day. Feeling under the weather since Saturday, but we'll make an effort to watch the game. 3 o'clock, Fiercey. 3 p.m. tip for the Raptors at the Celtics today. That's right. Thumbs up from Neil. And Kareem's saying, thanks, Lex, but I'm going cold turkey. There you go. There you go. Well, you know what? There's a lot of ways you can do that too. You know what? The thing for me is I'm so regimented with my life. Obviously, I do the stream every day that I just make rules for myself. And if you make the rule that you can't smoke anymore and you can stick to it, well, there you go. That's the way you do it. It's not totally easy. It's not totally easy. But I applaud you, and I know you're going to be very successful. And like I said, if you want any help with it, just ask. I'm here for you. And yeah, I counsel people on alcohol and cigarettes because they're both things that I've kind of conquered to a degree in my life. So, all right, let me do the rundown once more time. The Raptors are showing that, RJ did not travel with the team. He's sick, so he stayed in Toronto. He's not going to be available today. Emmanuel is not available also. Otherwise, questionable, Grady Dick. He has a hamstring tightness. Davion Mitchell is questionable because he's sick. And Bruno Fernando is questionable because of a toe injury. So I'm speculating that maybe we'll get to see Jamal Shed in the starting lineup with Jacoby Walter and Oshai Abaji, Scotty Barnes, and Yaka Pirtle. Maybe Jonathan Mobo in there in the mix also somehow, some way. The Celtics do have 2 injuries right now. 2 people questionable. Drew Holiday is questionable right now with a shoulder injury. And Kristaps Porzingis is questionable with an ankle injury. So those are the 2 main Celtics injuries right now that are going on. The referees for today, Kevin Scott, John Butler, and Evan Scott. Kevin Scott favors the Celtics just slightly. John Butler very much favors the Celtics, and Evan Scott favors the Raptors. So we got the Kevin and Evan Scott experience today. And the connection between the referees is Africa. 2 of the referees want to go to Africa. And yeah, that's what's going on there with that. All right, let's see what else you're saying. Kaz is saying W stream, W Raptor Freak Crew, and hopefully W Raptors tonight. We'll have to see. Let's go Raptors. Listen, y'all are down and out. Y'all don't have anything to lose. You have everything to gain. The Celtics, in some ways, they got everything to lose if they lose to you in some ways, and we don't have anything to lose. They expect us to. So y'all go out there and do something crazy. If y'all tighten up and play smart, if y'all come in there with a game plan and you understand what to do to beat these guys, you can do it. I trust you. I believe in you guys. Scotty, you've had big games in Boston before. Let's have another big game tonight and match them and really take it to them. You have to compete to beat the Celtics. So compete with them and play at a high level. Y'all played them once already this season, and y'all lost in overtime on a dagger, a game winner by Jason Tatum, even though he traveled and he shouldn't have gotten that. They didn't call it. So you guys got to, in some ways, think about the receipt from the last time y'all played them and that you owe them because they just barely beat y'all and y'all needed to beat them and you could have, but you didn't. So hopefully you can beat them this time. So let's not mess around. Let's try and beat them this time somehow, some way. Some people won't expect it. A lot of people probably won't watch the game because they just expect you to lose. Well, give a treat to the real ones that actually tune in and watch you guys and see you guys hopefully beat the Celtics. I know some people are saying, what? You're going to beat the Celtics? They suck right now, Lex. Why can you believe that? Because it's the NBA and strange things happen. Just trust me on this. Just trust me on this. So who knows? What do we have to lose, Raptors? Go to Boston today and kick their ass and give us all a New Year's Eve present right before the year ends, because that's something we need bad right now. Seriously, it's not like the Celtics are playing totally sharp. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. Seriously. So they are a little bit ripe of the picking. I really believe that. Either that or they're like, we're pissed off because we've lost 3 or 4 and we can't mess around with our food with the Raptors. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be back with the reaction. I'll see you next year after New Year's. I hope y'all have a safe New Year's Eve, and please celebrate responsibly. As I've said, if you're going to drink, don't drive, and use public transit, use cabs, use Ubers, use whatever you have at your disposal, and don't let tragedy come into your life because you made a poor decision and you're planning for your night tonight. I don't say no, don't go out and have fun. Go out and have fun, but be responsible about it is what I would say to everybody. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. Beat the Celtics. Let's go Raptors. New Year's Eve. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for reaction and preview for the Brooklyn Nets game on New Year's Day also. Yeah, we got to beat the Celtics today, Raptors. Take care of business, Scotty. I believe in you. Like Gerald said, let's get you 30 points at least today. Why not go for 50, Scott? Make a New Year's Eve 50 game for fun, just out of the blue all of a sudden. Take them to school. You could get mouse in the house all day long against the smaller Celtics. Most of their guys cannot guard you any kind of way one-on-one down low. So you try and figure it out, Scott, and take it to them. I believe in you, Mr. Barnes. Let's go, Raptors. Woo!